Alright, boys, I hate to say it, but you guys officially have permission to cry, because this is gonna be the last tier list video I do for a while now. If you're sitting there and wondering why this is the last tier list video I'm gonna do for a while, well, let me tell you. I've done tier lists on fruits, fighting styles, swords, pretty much everything, even the races in this game. Although, there is one category that's outdated and I haven't done a tier list on in a while, and that is actually the guns. And of course, you guys expect nothing less from Mr. Numberskull. So let me show you. I got every single gun in the game. And of course, I have every single gun on this tier list right here. All 13 guns. We have 4 different tiers, of course. We got the God tier, Great, Mid, and Trash. And as you guys already know, anything in Trash tier, you guys should never ever use. So with that being said, let's get started in random order. Starting off with the first gun, we're going to be talking about the Slingshot. The first gun you could even start with. Little do you guys know, this is the most overpowered gun in all of Bloxburg. So this Slingshot right here, let me show you guys how overpowered this is. We go ahead and left click on this NPC, 577 damage, and you can keep spamming it. That is so overpowered. I'm just kidding, guys. That's terrible. 500 damage. You guys really think I was going to be hyping up this Slingshot? This thing is dog water. Let me show you what the Z ability does. All it does is shoot a little sticky bullet for 1,000 damage. Get this dog water Slingshot out of my face. Explosive Pellet isn't even that good either. Only 1,500 damage. The only good thing about it is that it's like the first gun you could get in the game. That's pretty much it. So don't expect much from this gun. So as you guys probably expected from the start, it's going straight into the Trash tier. Next up, I think I'm gonna go ahead and choose the cannon. To be honest, I forgot this cannon was even in the game. I mean, look at this shape, bro. It looks a little suspicious. I'm not gonna lie. But let's go ahead and see what the damage is on this thing. 3.8 thousand damage. Okay, hold up. I was not expecting that much damage. Okay, so that has a lot of damage when you left click, but it does take a long time to charge up on each left click. What about the Z ability? What does this thing do? Oh, that shoots like a heat wave that does 2,000 damage. So that's a little kind of disappointing. I thought it would deal more damage. What about the X ability? Only 1,800 damage. Wait, hold on. So the left click deals more damage than everything else? That doesn't make any sense. Let me double check that. Yeah, 2,000 damage with the Z ability. Okay, what about the X again? One more time. Oh, there we go. 3,100 damage, and it ticks in the fire for 4.4 thousand. Okay, the Z ability is a little disappointing, but the damage on the left click and the X ability is actually really good. But it has absolutely 0 stuns and pretty much anything else like that. So it's kind of mid, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really see people using this in PvP or anything like that, but it has some pretty high damage, so I'm gonna have to give it the credit it deserves and just put it in the mid tier. Now let's talk about the musket. So far, all these guns that I've been reviewing are all first C guns, so don't expect too much from these. I mean, wait a second. 2.5 thousand damage is actually pretty high, although the musket does take a while to shoot left click. What about Dragon Bullet? What does that do? 2.2 thousand damage? Hold on, this isn't too bad for a first C gun. What the heck? It has a tornado ability? I didn't even know that. But to be honest, nobody's really using the musket either. Not a lot of people use this in PvP. So taking a wild guess, I'm gonna have to say this is gonna go in Trash tier because there is the refined musket right here, and there is a refined Slingshot. So if those two are trash, I'm probably gonna have to guess these two are also mid. But there's only one way to find out. Let's take a look at that refined musket next. So if this is the upgraded version of the other musket we just used, it must have better damage, right? Oh yeah, slightly better damage. 3,000? That's pretty solid. And it shoots a little bit faster, I noticed. What about the Z ability? Same thing? Yeah, but it does slightly more damage. What about this? Okay, it's the same exact thing, just slightly more damage. That's all it does. That was kind of a letdown, but did I really expect more? Not really. So I guess the refined musket's mid compared to its old form, the regular musket. And what about the refined Slingshot? I shouldn't expect much from this, right? All right, refined Slingshot, don't let me down. Can we spam this a lot faster? Hold on. You could kind of spam this way faster than I actually thought. You stack up damage pretty good. What about the sticky pellet? That deals a lot of damage, actually. What about the X ability? 2,000 damage. You know what? I will give it the credit it deserves. I don't think it's that mid, just because you could spam it so fast. I feel like the refined Slingshot's actually pretty good. I want to throw a curveball at you guys and not bore you guys the whole time, so we're going to talk about the Bazaar Rifle. This one I actually was really interested in. You get the Bazaar Rifle in the second seat, and I remember this one very vividly because it was actually very bizarre. I mean, that's why it's called the Bazaar Rifle. It has some cool abilities, so if you go ahead and shoot it, it deals good amount of damage, 3.3 thousand. It's not meant to spam the M1 ability, but it does have a really cool Z ability. If you miss and shoot the Z ability over here, it will target and choose whatever you were trying to shoot at. It's pretty cool. It's like aimbot on the gun. Then you have Hellfire Shower, does all those cool things, but the main selling point to me was this cool aimbot ability. Like, look, I can shoot over there and it instantly targets him. That's why I think it's really cool. The Hellfire Shower, though, doesn't really do too much. It does have burning though if they stand in it. So I guess that's got it going for that. So with that being said, I'm putting that straight into the great tier. But it seems like the god tier list is pretty empty. So we're gonna start off with a very famous one, the Soul Guitar. Everybody already knows the Soul Guitar is one of the hardest guns to get in the entire game, and it's the only mythical gun in the game. But did you know it's actually not the strongest? I'm talking about damage-wise. Yes, it does have all the PvP abilities you need and all that stuff, but the strongest gun in the game might surprise you, so stick around for that. Let me show you what the Soul Guitar is all about. You could spam that pretty fast, and it does a good amount of damage. Then you have a Z ability, which is this thing right here. That deals a good amount of damage as well, and of course, it stuns them and pushes them back. Then we have the X ability, which kind of knocks them up in the sky, deals damage, kind of keeps them there as well, and it does a lot of damage as well. It would have dealt more damage if that NPC had more health. But I think it goes without saying, because you see this Soul Guitar used in PvP so much, you already know it's gonna be god tier. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drag that and put that in there. Next, let's talk about the bazooka. The bazooka is actually a first C gun, believe it or not. You get this in the first C, and it actually has a good amount of damage for being a first C gun. Let me go ahead and show you guys. If we shoot that NPC there, 4.1 thousand damage on a left click. You could go ahead and kind of shoot that at a good pace. Then you got a Z ability called Alpha Wave, which is a mini nuke that does 2.7 thousand damage. The X ability is also really good because it burns them and then deals a lot more damage. So I think this gun's pretty great since you get it really easily in the first C. There's no quest to getting it. You actually have to kill one of the bosses to even pass through the first C, so you're kind of given this gun for free too, and you get levels with it. So I think it's pretty solid. I'm gonna say the bazooka is great to me. I don't think it's mid, and I don't think it's trash considering you don't have to buy it and it's pretty much given to you. Next up we're gonna talk about is the flintlock, because we're gonna get this out of the way. I already know this is gonna be trash, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it here before I even review it. The reason why I say that is because there's a refined flintlock right down here, so you know it's already gonna be bad. So let's take a look at the regular flintlock before we take a look at the refined one. What does this do? 2.2 thousand damage. Actually not that bad. Hold on, that could kind of be spammed. What about this? Oh, it stuns him, but it doesn't really deal much damage. What about rapid gun? Oh, that thing has like rapid fire. I mean, that's what it's called, right? I mean, it's whatever. It's kind of like just a slightly stronger slingshot, but then again, nothing too amazing. And of course, if there's a better version of it, this has to stay in the trash tier. Sorry, flintlock, you're staying right here. Now let's take a look at the refined flintlock. Let's see how much more damage the refined flintlock does. And oh, that actually is significantly more. The Z ability also...
It is I, after all, Fontaine's most beloved star, Farina.
deals a lot more damage. What about the X nuke ability? 3.5 thousand? That's pretty solid. This is like almost double the damage, I would say. So of course, this is gonna be a lot better. So as expected, this is gonna be mid still. It's not gonna be great, but I think it's better than the regular flintlock. Now we're down to 3 of the most infamous guns in the entire game besides the Soul Guitar. Let's talk about the Acidium rifle now. This bad boy right here on my back is actually one of the most infamous PvP guns in the game. If you're a gun main, you probably use this or the Soul Guitar or a few other guns that I'm gonna mention very soon. The reason why this is so strong is because it has good amount of damage. Look at how much it ticks for. It just keeps going up from one shot. And if you are able to land more than one shot, they are not surviving. Look at how much damage that is dealing if you land it consistently. It doesn't stop. On top of that, you have a spiky bomb which stuns somebody as soon as it explodes like that. If you notice, the NPC stop moving. Then we have acid smoke, which is a very good combo ability. And of course, it's gonna deal a lot more damage than that. Let's go ahead and test it on this NPC over here. We're gonna deal some damage to him, shoot him with the Z ability, get him stuck, and then usually would have the X ability ready, but it's still on cooldown. And I don't even realize, hold on, I don't even have my full body hockey on. The damage should be even higher than all this. Oh my gosh, I am trolling. I'm giving the Acidium rifle a bad name. Let me go ahead and hit him with the acid bomb real quick, and oh my gosh, that does so much damage. That X ability is literally a nuke, but that's why it makes it such a perfect combo. You have a Z ability to stun an NPC or a player, and then you just bomb them with the X ability like this. Now this guy's gonna die in like 2 abilities right here, and he's still on poison. Yeah, about a shot and full combo just kills him. Like, they can't do anything about that. So as you guys can already expect, that's going straight into God tier. You guys already probably predicted that though, am I right? Now let's talk about the Kabucha. This is something you also get in the second C and is very infamous as well because it is very strong for PvP. It has some pretty good fast left click like this. It's pretty much as fast as the refined slingshot, if not a little bit faster, but deals a lot more damage than the slingshots. You could just spam M1 to kill somebody if you can land your shots non-stop. But then you have the F ability, which is a fire Firebird and burns for a good amount of damage. Usually there's fire when it lands, but it didn't really do that right now. But this most important part of the Kabocha is the X ability. Let me show you what I mean. It pushes somebody back and deals a good amount of damage, almost 5,000. Usually people combo that with their fighting styles or their fruits and stuff like that, and you can't move. The Kabocha has probably one of the longer stuns in the game besides the Soul Guitars. So when you pair that up, it should look something like this. You go ahead and fight that thing, hit him with the Firebird, and he keeps burning, and then you push him into the wall, and you keep fighting him. Usually when you land a full combo, they're done. So with that being said, Kabocha goes straight into God tier. Now we are left with one more gun, and this is my personal favorite out of all of them in the game. This right here is the Serpent Bow. This is the strongest gun in the game, and no, I'm not talking about stuns and abilities. I am talking about pure raw damage. If you don't believe me, go take a look at the wiki. It says it is the strongest gun in the game. The second strongest gun in the game is actually the Acidium Rifle when you talk about poison and raw damage. This one deals a lot more. Let me show you, because you could spam it a lot faster than the Acidium Rifle. It ticks for a lot, and if you spam it just as bad, just by clicking it 3 times, almost 10,000 damage, and this thing's at half health. The only reason why you don't see a lot of PvP mains using this as their choice of gun is because it is very difficult to use. Not like the Acidium Rifle, this doesn't have that many stuns, and they're a lot harder to land than the Acidium Rifle. Let me show you. So we have the Poisonous Blast as the Z ability. Look at how much damage that is dealing, almost 10,000 for one ability. But it only has one stun, which is the Snake Bind right here. It stuns him, and that's just kind of it. It doesn't have a longer stun like the Acidium Rifle, but if you put this combo together, use all 3 abilities, and click on an NPC, they are instant dead. Let me show you that exact thing I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this NPC like 2 or 3 times. Go ahead and hit him with the Z ability. If he gets a little close real quick, hit him with the X, and he's done. I mean, it's not really a combo, you just kind of use the gun itself, but if you use this really fast with anything such as Dragon or a fighting style or something like that, they are not escaping this thing. This thing is a monster and a force to be reckoned with. It is ridiculous. I mean, just look at that. I just used the bow and finished him off with God Human Z. That is insane damage super quick. You can't even avoid it once you're